Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for coming. I think you'll find this presentation most informative. Things that are happening in our city. So I think everybody knows who I am. I'm Ken Cyber, your mayor for the last decade, and prior to that, city councilman. So our theme this year, and there are tape measures out on the table if you want one. Our theme this year is measuring success, and we have quite a bit of success. So by city charter, my job is to be the city spokesperson under duties of mayor, but obviously I'm not here taking all the credit for all of this because we have a great team that pulls together and makes all of these things happen. So I'd like to introduce our city council first, starting with our council president, Ari Mandelbaum. Also with us is Councilwoman Nancy Banks, Councilman Dan Brightwell, Councilwoman Yolanda Haynes, and Councilwoman Coretta Hogue. From the city staff are two women that keep me on track all the time, and that is Beverly Astrop and Vicki Perry in the back. And they filter phone calls and send out letters and one thing after another. I appreciate all they do. And then from Community Relations Department is Michael Mannion. So our city administrator and deputy city administrator are in the next room because tonight the Southfield Charter Commission is meeting, so they can't join us. But so part of our team, obviously, is that we have a talented group of department heads. I'm not going to read all the names, but obviously running a city this size and with all the things that the city has to accomplish, you need people with various talents and in various areas. So that's part of our team. But I want to give a great appreciation, and I hadn't done this in earlier State of the City addresses, but a lot of things get done here because we have partnerships with nonprofits. And so if you are a member of one of the nonprofits that helps the city, please stand. That would be you as well. There are so many things that the city just can't do with the limited resources. It's good to partner with others that provide things to help us. So for instance, the Parks and Garden Club does landscaping at the Thompson Farm. Friends of the Library, any number of events, jazz and blues at the library. And you go down the list, and there's these cooperative agreements that actually, I think, spread or widen our reach. So we're very grateful for these partners. And then we have people that, we have well over 100 people that are serving on city boards and commissions. So if we have any city boards or commission members here, please stand. I know there's a couple. Thank you. Again, these are people that give of their time. They do things, or they're a sounding board, and all of that is very important to us. So I believe if you've got some issues or some challenges, you don't sweep them under the rug. You need to talk about them, bring them back out in the open. So the three challenges that have really challenged our city are, none of it is our doing. This is all external things that have happened, but yet they have a local impact. So the Great Recession. Now you may think, well, that was 12, 13 years ago. We're still feeling the impact of it, because property values, due to the mortgage scandal, property values dropped drastically. Southfield lost over $1 billion in property value. And because of Proposal A, the cap, we have not recovered from that yet. Maybe by 2032, we'll be back where property valuation in the city was in 2007. So this is, so one of the things that it impacts, for instance, Parks and Rec lost over $20 million because they have a separate 2 mil millage. The library lost money. You may remember that in 2011, we were in danger of eliminating about a third of the police and fire departments. And we did a millage so we would not have to cut our first responders. This is the system. Property values and property taxes are what funds a lot of what we do. Oh, so back a second. So anyhow, retailing. I read this statistic not too long ago that the United States leads the world in retail space per square foot. Every one of us, there is about 26 square feet of retail space for every person in this country. We lead the world. Second is Canada with about 19 square feet per person, and then Australia, 17. And then you go to European countries, and it's all below 10 feet per person. So it seems like every week or every month, another chain is going under or cutting back or downsizing. And so what happens, we've overbuilt retail space in this country. So what do you do with that space? What has to happen to it? And then the pandemic. And this I don't have to explain. All of us lived through it, but it did change our world. And I think some of these things are never coming back from the way that things were prior to the pandemic. So for years, Southfield has touted itself as the office market of the Midwest. We have more office space than downtown Detroit. There were things like we're the biggest office hub between New York and Chicago. And now that's kind of turned around on us because we do have vacant office buildings. And we have, we're running about 72% occupancy. At one time we were up in the, you're never 100% occupied, but at one time we were at around 90, 92%. Prior to the pandemic, we were, I think, low 80s. So what do we do with all this? And what we're seeing is because there's it's a very competitive office market. There's a new trend. It's called flight to excellence. Landlords are giving better deals. So okay, I'm going to upgrade to another building, and so you have this hopping of office space going on. But it's also a challenge for us. And I'll show you some examples of things we're doing, but to turn office buildings into housing, for instance, some of them are just too dense. You're not going to have housing without windows. No one's going to want to be in a windowless home. So we have solutions we're working on, and the council, along with the Planning Commission, Planning Department, we have changed a lot of our zoning requirements to be more flexible, to allow greater density, to allow other uses for properties, where some of the codes were rather strict or rather limiting. So that's one way we address the problem. Another is we continue to be very, very aggressive in recruiting businesses to come to Southfield. Then we're successful. But again, it's a highly competitive market. And then finally, and this is something I'm a big, big proponent of, we can't throw everything away. Things are built for one purpose. Time changes, needs change, technology changes, new uses come into being that they weren't there before, and so we find we have to adapt what we have, our infrastructure, to the current times. So to give you some examples, and also just to make this sure this is not a doom and gloom speech, I'm just laying out the challenge that the city faces. But we're doing pretty well. I mean, when you look at the proposed development values for the last 4 years, millions of money is coming here in investment in the city. So, and again, our Planning Commission does a lot of the screening of this with the Planning Department before it comes to City Council or to my desk. So this is not a new one, but it's one of my favorite. There's a company, their offices are in the First Citizens Bank up on Northwestern, 696. That's where they're headquartered. But they have their showroom and their assembly in what was a Michigan National Bank building at 11 Mile and Inkster. This is a big sprawling, it was a financial processing center. And so, as you know, banks have consolidated, and here we had this behemoth office space that was sitting vacant. And through zoning and adaptive reuse and through special use, this is now the Sun Company's glamping. Now, does everybody know what glamping is? You know, when I was young, we used to get the sleeping bag and the pup tent, and we'd go out to a park, and, well, I don't do that anymore. So glamping is glamour camping, and some of this is pretty amazing, what the Sun Company's designed. In the picture here, this is an outdoor dining structure. So if you want to have a little banquet in your backyard or something, and it's portable. Anyhow, so Northland. Our redevelopment project there is moving steadily forward. Slow, it's been slow, but it's moving. They've saved the whole original mall because that was the best built. It was built during the Korean War. It was designed as a bomb shelter. And so the Hudson's building is 500,000 square feet. That's 500,000 square feet. It will become the upper floors will become a boutique hotel. The first level is going to be a marketplace with food, dining, entertainment, home furnishings, retail, and other accessories. The water tower, if you went to Northland today, you'd see part of it draped. It hasn't been an operating water tower for years, but it sits there. So it's being painted, and it's going to say Northland City Center on it. It's an advertisement. It's a beacon for Northland. So here's one of the coolest new adaptive reuses to come along. This is, you may remember at 11 Mile and Greenfield, those of us that have been here a long time, Ponderosa Steakhouse. Remember those? I mean, I was guilty of this, going in, buying those bags of chicken wings. 24, I think, in a bag. Anyhow, then it became, somebody tried to cash in on grow plants at home, and you know what kind of plants I'm talking about. And that went under. That was Hydromaster. So now this is going to be Barkside. They've got a liquor license, and this is a bar and dog park in one. So you can bring your pooch. You can go in and have some drinks with friends, and your dog can socialize. And so, there is a dress code. Dogs have to have a collar or a harness. People, you can come as you are, appropriate. And there's age restrictions. You have to be 6 months if you're a dog. And if you're a person, you can come underage, but you have to be accompanied by an adult. Anyhow, a great adaptive reuse. It's very clever, and we're glad to have it in Southfield. So we've also had a shift in school population. At one time, Southfield had 16,500 kids. Today, it's less than 5,000 in the public schools. People aren't having those large families, and there's choice, there's charters, there's online, there's homeschooling. The neighborhood school is pretty much gone. And so what do you do with these buildings? For the most part, they've been pretty well maintained over the years. So two of the schools, John Grace, we have a need for subsidized senior housing. The Southfield Nonprofit Neighborhood Corporation runs McDonald Towers, River Park Place, and Woodbridge, 508 units, and it's full. And anytime anybody leaves, it's immediately leased because there's a waiting list. So we know there's a demand here for subsidized senior housing. So John Grace School will be converted with an addition to subsidized senior housing. And this, if you're not familiar with John Grace, it's down in 8 Mile and Inkster neighborhood. And then we also have a need for condos that are in Southfield, new condos. So the McKinley School on George Washington Avenue will become, it's under construction now. John Grace will be starting any day now, the construction there. These projects always take time because you have to get the financing together. And then when you're doing one of the things that has delayed the McKinley project, it was started over a year ago. They found when you're renovating an existing structure, maybe like your house if you had a project, you never know what you're going to find sometimes. So at McKinley, they found a wall that was covering a wall that was supporting the second floor, and so something had to be done about that. Then they discovered there are tunnels underneath the school that weren't on any plan. So all of this, kind of gums up the works. But McKinley will be market rate condos, and they will range in size from 950 square feet to 2,500. Every unit will have a 2-car garage, and the condos that are on the playfield will match the design of the school. This is the only college Gothic building in Southfield. I really fought to save this building because I spent years there when I worked for Southfield Schools, but it's got this oak woodwork. It's got these terrazzo floors. It's got these tiles, these 1920s tiles that are just gorgeous, a fireplace. And in the kindergarten room, they have sand paintings of all the nursery rhymes. And they've survived since the 1920s. This should not be destroyed. Anyhow, This is ideal for people who have their kids are grown, they live in Southfield, they love it here like we all do, and just don't want the yard anymore, don't need the big house. So there'll be a variety of sizes here. You can downsize, and then you don't have to do the yard. So and I hear this, by the way, from some of our residents quite frequently. I want to stay in Southfield, but I don't want a two-story house. I don't want to do the stairs anymore, that kind of thing. So obviously, this is in the 10-mile Southfield neighborhood. It's close to freeways. It's in the heart of Southfield. So it's moving along now. So this is a project that I think is really, really cool. But the financing isn't there yet. But I'm including it because I'm very hopeful. You may recognize this office building on 10 Mile. It's been dilapidated and vacant for years. And so we have people that are interested in turning it into office, or rather office to housing. And it's like so many office buildings in Southfield. One of the things that I was able to do when I was a councilman is to reduce the parking requirements. We're overparked. Think visually, when you drive around Southfield and you see these office buildings and so on, and these big parking lots, and they're not, and this is, and I'm talking not now necessarily, although parking lots are filling up again post-COVID, but I'm talking before COVID. We were overparked. Overparked is bad because then you have these major storms, you have rain. What happens to all that water? It's not going into the earth. It's causing floods and streams to overflow. So anyhow, they're planning taking some of the underground parking or first floor parking and turning all of this into our neighborhood retail. The council and I really, really hope that they get their financing and that this project moves forward. One, it's a great concept. Two, got to do something about the look of that building. So this is, drugstores. Look what's happening in drugstores. Overexpansion. Too many drugstores, and people say, well, why did you allow it? If it's zoned, they have a right to build it. Even if we have drugstores down the street, it's in their zoning. The city would be held liable if it denied it. So this is a former Walgreens, and what's cool about this, it's now a Goodwill. So we've recycled the building, and what's inside? More recycled stuff. And they're doing very well. This is at 12 Mile and Greenfield. When Kroger moved out of the, I always want to call it the Clock Tower, but it's actually the Cornerstone Plaza on Greenfield and Mount Vernon, the mall, that strip mall, suffered. It lost several other businesses because that was the anchor. So now the Kroger store has been divided into three, and we're having a Burlington Coat Factory, Five Below, and Ross for Less there. This will do well for the center. Many of you know the Advance Building, the jewelry capital of Detroit, Metro Detroit is there. The first floor was kind of under leased, so they turned it into Parlor 313 rather. And this is small studios for entrepreneurs, whether they're doing hair, nails, eyelashes, photography. It's great for little startup folks. So again, adaptive reuse. And then we get to the long vacant eyesore. This is one of the things that bugs the council and myself. You have these landlords who own buildings. They don't live here. They don't maintain their building. And in this case, the landlord played games over and over again with his taxes. He lives in Montreal, never here. And went in and out of bankruptcy to forestall. And finally, the hammer came down on them last year, and they went into receivership. And so we have a plan for this building. It's a solid concrete building. The first floor amenity spaces are ruined because of the roof collapse. But the building itself is pretty sound. So the plan here is the receiver said, well, you've got to move it because we have debtors to reimburse, including the city of Southfield. They owed a huge water bill. And so the new foster care is going to move in here. The new foster care is in Bloomfield Hills. They're going to move their office here. It's going to be a mixed-use building with housing, training center, and offices. So approximately 180 units. Now, so you're probably asking, well, what is the new foster care? Well, as you know, and I can speak to this personally as a former teacher and school administrator, sometimes there are good foster parents, and then there are situations that are really deplorable for some kids, especially when they're getting bounced from home to home to home. It's not good. And so what happens when you're 18, you're out of the foster care system. Then these kids are not always prepared for this. So we have, these statistics are terrible. By age 21, 1 in 4 experience incarceration, 1 in 3 experience homelessness, 2 in 5, it takes 5 years to get out of high school, 48% experience unemployment, 27% end up pregnant. And then the cycle repeats itself. So, the new foster care is providing a safety net for 18 to 29-year-olds in a supervised setting with training, and they have employment and career opportunities, education, stable living situation, community life functioning, and personal effectiveness and well-being. So this is, it's not just a place for young people that are going to hang out. No, this is a supervised living situation with a support system. It's voluntary, and if you don't follow the rules, then you don't stay in new foster care. But this is a great adaptive reuse. So, again, our partners, there are things that we could not do. So this is an adaptive reuse of a down-and-out neighborhood. Garner Street had a number of dilapidated homes that were built in the 30s. They were mostly cinder block houses, very marginal, not well cared for. So the Southfield nonprofit neighborhood corporation consolidated these properties, and the SF Community Renewal, the third bullet, is redeveloping this property. We will be here. They will be doing homes compatible with the Green Dolphin neighborhood next door, as well as affordable and what we call missing middle. This is more affordable, but it's not low-income housing. It's what they call missing middle housing. And so as the Southfield Nonprofit Neighborhood Corporation has helped us with the Plaza Hotel, cleaning that site up, and of course John Gray School and SF Community Development is doing the financing for McKinley. The city couldn't do this, but yet there's a need. And so it's about collaboration, finding people and finding organizations that can fill in gaps where the city can't reach. So again, we're very aggressive about business retention and attraction. This is a partial listing. I won't read them all of the companies here, but I will make a note about Thundersoft Technologies, which moved into the town center. The council and I went over, coldest day of the year, to cut the ribbon. And I said to the Thundersoft staff, they came from San Diego, are you really glad you're in Michigan? And did you really want to be here? And they said, yeah, absolutely yes. And they're thrilled to be in the town center. And why are they here? They're here because they're a high-tech company, and Southfield is the home to all of these auto-related companies, whether it's Lear, Eaton, Kamau, automotive components. I'm always leaving a few of them out. Anyhow, and they're here because of Lawrence Tech. There's such talent that comes out of that school. And for us as a city, we want to keep that talent in Southfield that is being educated at Lawrence Tech. So this is a real coup for us. And I was afraid to get behind the wheel, but my Councilwoman Hogue wasn't. She just jumped right in there. I was afraid. This car is an $80,000 car, and I should be driving it, and I'm not familiar with it. No fear, Yolanda Haynes. Anyhow, it's a beautiful, beautiful car. It's assembled in Arizona. Their headquarters is in the San Francisco Bay Area, but they chose Southfield for their R&D. They took a whole floor, great paying jobs in the Travelers Tower, and I'm not supposed to say this, but they're going to exceed their space, I'm pretty sure, because things are going well. Anyhow, a beautiful, beautiful car. Hopefully the prices will come down, and it's great to have it here. And again, why did they pick Southfield? Because of the like-minded Clariance is right near them, the truck light company. So, and then we have the property across the street. Again, I want to repeat, these projects take years to put together because they're expensive. Building materials have gone through the roof. These tariffs are not helping. So this project got a huge boost recently with a $131.8 million transformational brownfield grant. This is a state program that invests in properties, brownfield being old. It's not a greenfield where you're building out on the outskirts of the metro area. It's an area that should be redeveloped. And this will bring density. We're attempting to have a downtown here on Evergreen Road. Our restaurants need more people, 577 units here. There's a plan for a parking structure that may not look like the one in the upper right corner, but we're also looking at, we have a lot of parking in the Civic Center area, a lot of unused parking, as I was mentioning before. So maybe there can be a swap. At any rate, and this will be a mix of workforce, market rate, and subsidized housing. And that would, again, that's part of the funding mechanism. Other new investments in Southfield. Glassman Automotive on Telegraph. This is the third generation of that family is running this. I knew George Glassman. He went to Southfield Lathrop High School, and now his son is taken over. But new showroom for their Kia line, and then here's a building that was really, you couldn't see it from the street on Telegraph. It's a industrial building behind an industrial building, and so this company was perfect for them, Drifter vans. They make these unbelievable interiors in vans. Kind of goes with the glamping thing that we talked about earlier. Everybody's been asking, what's going on at Northwestern and 12 Mile? The buildings are coming down too. We're really subpar. And so we're getting a high-tech car wash there called Ella Car Wash. This car wash recycles, they filter and recycle the water that they use to wash the cars. So it's kind of got a sustainability feature to it. We'll also have charging stations. And they're getting better with these charging stations so that cars can charge faster. I always love it when a landlord comes in, in this case, 2 strip centers that have gotten makeovers. Sometimes there's this school of thought where you build it and then you abandon. In other words, you put your money in, you own it for a while, and then you stop doing anything. And then you take the money out of the property and move on to something else. And I'm not saying that that's what happened to the previous owner, but I am so glad that Southfield-based Princeton Enterprises purchased this strip center. This is in a prime location, Northwestern Highway, north of 12 Mile, Franklin Road. I mean, it looked like a dump. And so Princeton Enterprise spent $3 million on a new roof line, which looks great, redid the parking lot, landscaping, and I celebrate this sort of thing. This is what we need. Our future is in renewal. Another center, the 9 Greenfield Center. This is fully leased now. New owner. Redid the parking lot, did other improvements there, and the latest, this originally was a Kroger store, and then it became Art Van Furniture. Then when they went out, it was vacant, and now it's fully leased. The whole center is fully leased, and it's one of our new businesses. And then we do a lot with small businesses as well. We work with Oakland County on small businesses. Our DDA does a lot of outreach. So, and here again, I want to point out we do this small business tour. This is in the Crossroads office building. This is at Northland Drive in 8 Mile. And that owner, that building is almost completely leased, and it's beautiful inside. I mean, they've got art throughout the building, on the walls. They've new carpeting. I mean, there's no reason to let buildings run down. And so, again, I highlight landlords that do the right thing as opposed to those that really make a problem for us. So here's the building on Southfield Road. Some of these small buildings have no services. They're really hard to find somebody to use. So this company, Ameda Senior Care, moved here from Farmington Hills, and they took a small building on Southfield Road, totally rehabbed it. They love it. They filled it, and once again, it's an African-American owned business, and we're very glad to support them. So everybody seems to love Culver's. You see those ads on television, the guy standing in the cornfield in Wisconsin. Well, we announced last year we were getting one on Southfield Road. Then they had all kinds of trouble with the underground. They had pushback from the neighborhood, one thing after another. Anyhow, it should be open by fall. And then a little bit to my surprise, because of the issues at Southfield Road and Webster across from Home Depot, they're now doing a second Culver's on Telegraph Road. This is the Onyx building north of 12 Mile. Again, overparked. So let's take some of that parking and bring more density. So we have Culver's taking part of the parking lot. Also, there is a Starbucks that took part of the parking lot. And in the next slide, we have Panda Express, the Comerica Tower at 12 and Telegraph, taking part of the parking lot. We don't need all that parking. And then here is another adaptive reuse. This was the Savvy Sliders. This was an adaptive reuse. It was a Huntington bank. You know, banks have consolidated their empty bank building. So once again, a new use, and we're glad of it. And then some existing buildings that were new owners or new concept. As you know, you may know, Fuddruckers is a chain that has sort of hit hard times. They've closed a number of locations in Michigan, but not in Southfield. Not in Southfield because the owner reimagined and became Evergreen Bar and Grill with Fuddruckers. And I went in there Saturday night, and I couldn't get a table. I had to do takeout. The McDonald's on 12 Mile and or north of 12 Mile and Southfield Road, new owners, refreshed the place, did a beautiful job. That's what we like to see. All right, very quickly, go through new housing. I've touched on this already, but we're doing we've been selling vacant lots in the city for fill-in housing. They're kind of like a missing tooth on a street. But also, this is a great project. This is not a city project. This is Calabac Companies. This is at 9 and Lasher or Duns Scotus. And these are single-family detached condos as well as attached. The attached ones are on this side. These all have first-floor masters. Again, there's a demand for first-floor masters. So this project, again, they struggled like everybody else. Building materials went up. The project slowed down, but it's moving forward. Northland, City Center Apartments, the ground floor is all leased up. There'll be a coffee shop, a city cafe, Cadova, credit union, Zeal is coming in there, a number of neighborhood stores. They're expected to start leasing the apartments in the end of summer. Then some missing middle housing. This is on Brush Street. This is at 9 Mile in the 9 Mile Telegraph area, kind of near White Castle, obviously behind it. Fill-in housing, but also missing middle, more affordable housing. And then 10 years ago, I started this partnership with Habitat for Humanity. It kind of happened by accident. There was a home going up in my neighborhood about a block away or so, and it had a very unusual roof line, so being nosy, I watched this project and I went over there, and finally some Habitat people showed up. It was a women-built home. They have a number of women-built homes. There's another one I'm going to show you in a minute. At any rate, we started this project with them. And these are all affordable housing. And with Habitat, it's a hand up, not a hand out. So if you get a Habitat home, you have to work on it. You also have to go through their financial literacy program, and you have to qualify for a mortgage. But what the beauty of it is the construction of the home is subsidized. The costs are reduced so that it's more affordable. And so besides building new housing here, they are also rehabbed 30-some houses, all affordable housing. Again, what we're trying to do is have a mix of housing for all needs of all people. And this has been a great project. This house in the middle is a rehab, and this was a women-built home. These, again, through the city councils and zoning changed. These are large single-family lots on Westland Street. There's so much space. So the city council approved doing duplexes on these large lots. And again, you can see this is the interior, the great room. They're very nice. And I've actually been out at there's a key turning ceremony. And I've been out for these, and I'm going to tell you, it kind of chokes you up, because these are, some of them are a little older, but they're all people who have never owned a home before. They've been renters, and the joy of having their own place that they own, it moves you. So then we're doing some transitional housing. We have the Wellspring Apartments. This is on the Rouge River over by Telegraph. It's in an isolated area. This housing is for people who were drug addicted. They are no longer. Most of them are on people on OxyContin. Many of them were people that were prescribed these painkillers and told they weren't addictive. And so this is a court-supervised program. If you know somebody that's had to go to rehab, most insurance companies will pay us 30 days. That doesn't rewire people. This program and this housing, these are apartments, supervised, there's security. They're all sober people, but they need the support system to stay sober and rebuild their lives. And so that's what this project is about. And then, as many of you know, not a city project, but Towers to Tunnels, or Tunnel to Towers rather, is doing the Veterans Village down the street here at Northwestern Highway and 10 Mile. Public safety, if any of you know anybody that is interested in police or fire, first responder, we are hiring. This is one of our newest set of recruits for the fire department. As you know, our longtime chief, Johnny Menifee, retired in March, and he'd been with the department for well over 30 years, so we have new leadership. We have Joey Thorington is our new chief. New deputy chief is Mark Jackson. Our other deputy chief, Antonio Maciars, we congratulated him, thanked him for stepping up to be acting chief. He's still, of course, with the department. We're very big here, and the council has been phenomenal about this, supporting training for both police and fire. In Southfield, I'm proud to say that if you call 911, you're going to get people that show up with equipment that works and knows what they're doing. They've been well trained. And so this is the fire. If you haven't been back there, this is behind the fire station on Lasha Road at 10 Mile. Everything from Jaws of Life training to trench to smoke in high-rise buildings, all the kind of things that you want your firefighters to be prepared. Recently, the house next door to me caught fire, an electrical fire, and the woman's phone was in the room that was on fire. She ran out. Fire department was there in no time. The house is still standing with some damage, but because the fire department was there and put that fire out, and they had to go in a burning building. They run to danger, and it was upstairs bedroom, so they had to go up a flight of stairs filled with smoke. Our police department, we have a problem in Southfield. Number one crime is domestic violence. It exceeds stolen cars. And when our Chief Elvin Barron came, he looked at these stats and he said, I'm addressing this. This is a community problem. It's a social issue, and it's not, of course, unique to Southfield. But he said, we're going to put it out there. And so working with the courts, the schools, we have programs for victims as well as aggressors. And we do our annual awareness of domestic violence. Our police department, though, again, under the leadership of Elvin Barron, very, very big on community policing. Police officers are human beings. They have feelings. They want to know you. They're not to be feared. And so we do all of these programs, everything from this is Christmas giveaway, Easter Bunny, Halloween, the trunk or treat, reading in classrooms, coffee with a cop, all of these kind of things. Another great program, and maybe some of you have been in it, is the Citizens Police Academy. They do it once a year. It's about one night a week for about 2 months, and you learn every aspect of policing and what our department does and how they do it. It's a great program. And then our chief, to me, I feel so lucky that we have him. Our chief was named the Michigan Chronicle Man of Excellence this past year. Also wanted to talk about one of the things that Chief Barron does is he recognizes the work of our officers. So, for instance, Matt Fair, this gentleman here, Detective of the Year, he's had a tremendous, when a crime happens, you want to know that it's going to be solved. Matt Fair has solved a lot of crimes here, so he got the award. Not in the picture, he was absent, was William Peroni. Some very, very dangerous situations that he confronted. And then, again, the VFW, a partner, stepped up to recognize 2 officers. You may recall last summer there was a pool party in Lathrop Village, and 20-somethings, late teens, somebody brought a gun, and shooting started. Quickly overwhelmed the Lathrop Village Police Department. Our officers came as backup. And these 2 officers, Chandler and Spence, came to assist. They saw a young woman bleeding profusely in the leg. One took his belt off and applied a tourniquet. The other, they both rushed her into a police car, took her to Providence Hospital. She's alive today because of them. I don't think the amount of blood loss, I don't think she would have made it. And we're grateful for the VFW naming them as First Responders of the Year. We're not taking people's guns away, but if you got a gun and you don't want it, and we certainly don't want it to get in the wrong hands, we're working with Disarmory Ministries, which is out of St. David's Church on 12 Mile. Father Chris Yaw, who's got a great social conscience, started this program because there are too damn many guns, and there's too much gun violence. So we work, last week we celebrated, or I shouldn't say celebrated, we observed Wear Orange Day, and Moms Demand Action, and several other groups that are promoting gun safety. So if you have a gun, Vicki Perry, if I can call you out, she was one who took advantage of this program. Her husband, former husband, died. There was a gun. She didn't want it in her house. I don't blame her. And so she took it to this. They take the number off the gun, the serial number, and then they chop the gun up right in front of you so it can never be used again. They were, this was outrageous to us. They were collected, you could turn in guns, and then they were being given over to resell. Yeah. I mean, what kind of sense was that? So anyhow, this program is approved by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, but it's not affiliated with the Southfield Police Department because of certain protocols. But our police department does do gun locks. If you are interested in this program, have a gun that you don't want to hold on to anymore, Friday and Saturdays at Greenfield Presbyterian Church across from Catalpa Park. That's where they are. They'll take your weapon. One of the things we do, and I know some of you have attended, is our senior seminars that we run 2 or 3 a year. This particular one, Dana Nessel came down to talk about scams that target seniors. These scams, I mean, I get this on my phone, you probably do, just about every single day. The latest one is demanding that I'm going to lose my license because I haven't paid a toll. We don't have any toll roads here. Anyhow, and then we're very big on sustainability because that's part of a healthy community. We have an action plan that the planning department's working on. And then we're partnering with Make Food, Not Waste, and doing a pilot with Lawrence Tech's cafeteria food service to recycle food. Now, when you think of recycling food, we're not talking about eating it again. We're talking about turning it into compost, okay? That recycling. And you know, we all go out to restaurants or banquets and see the amount of food that is wasted. It all goes to the landfill. Okay, a road report. This is, I know I speak for the council, this is the bane of our existence. There's not enough money for roads, but we chip away at it every year. So I just want to put this in a little perspective for you. We have 246 miles of local roads, neighborhood streets, secondary roads. In the past 10 years, plus now the 11th year, we will have done over 151 miles of roads, rebuilding. That leaves us with 95 miles of roads we haven't touched. Yet, we've spent $330 million. One lane mile, not 1 mile of road, 1 lane mile is over $1 million for concrete. And then we do this partnership with Oakland County, the Road Commission of Oakland County. So right now, 10 mile between Lasher and Telegraph, Greenfield between 12 and 13. But the county puts a lot into it, but their hand is always out. We have to pay, there's a local match for a lot of these. At any rate, I won't read this, but do want to point out we're getting into a lot of neighborhoods, and we're doing $14.3 million in neighborhood streets this year. Altogether, we're doing $37.5 million in road work, and it's not enough. It's not enough. All right, our parks. We have, in the 1970s, there were several bond issues, and that gave us all the parkland that we have, much of it, and the facilities. Well, that's 50 years now. And so obviously a lot of it needs renewal. So we are, as you know, we had 2 golf courses. We closed one. Why did we close Beechwoods? Because it needed a good $500,000 in repair. The irrigation system was kaput. But we were also subsidizing 2 courses by almost $400,000 a year. That's money that could have been spent on something else. So we closed Beechwoods, put money into upgrading Evergreen Hills out back here, and the golf course is now making a profit. There's no more subsidy. So Beechwoods, and I'll talk about that in a minute, it's becoming a destination park. 20 years, right, Nancy Banks? We've been looking for a dog park in Southfield. Now, I'm just wondering, is Barkside or the dog park at Lasher Woods, which one's going to open first? They're both going to be done this summer. Evergreen Hills, I've already talked about. Carpenter Lake, there's a lot actually going on there, and thanks to Jeremy Moss, our state senator, a $600,000 grant, we've made a number of improvements. The fishing dock was badly damaged in a storm. A tree fell on it, so it's being rebuilt. We're creating a senior-friendly space in the pavilion, and we are going to get a swimming pool. A council on Monday night, you're going to clap that, yeah. It's been a long road on this, but the council set aside $22.5 million for a year-round pool. We will be hiring an architect to design the pool in a month or so, 5, 6 weeks, and it's out to bid. I'm hoping that the pool will have a lazy river, that exercise therapy feature. But it was so crazy for us to have a pool when it was only open 8 to 10 weeks a year, because the lifeguards were college students. They had to go back to school. And we'd have these hot days in September and no pool. So we're doing a year-round pool. And it's taken a while because figuring out how to finance this was a big, big obstacle. But we're there. So back to Beach Woods. It's becoming a destination park. Oakland County Parks and Rec, and here I have to make a plug for our county administrator, Dave Coulter. For years, when Brooks Patterson was the county executive, so much money went to the north end, especially in parks, but we all live down here. The majority of the population of Oakland County lives below 15 Mile, or Maple. So Coulter has changed that. More and more money has come to South Oakland. So, and Catalpa Park is getting a lot of money spent on it. A park in Madison Heights, a park in Royal Oak Township, and several $1 million is being put here for more parking, for a new play structure. In the distance here, it's hard to see, but that's the framework for a new picnic shelter. Our picnic shelters are in high demand. And then there'll be, on part of what was the greens of the golf course, there'll be walking trails. What I particularly like about this, they're doing bump outs so that you can sit after walking a while and enjoy nature, rest. Other facility improvements, the tennis courts at the Civic Center were redone. The collapsing embankment at Beach Woods, the walking trails at Losher Woods have all been redone. They will be lighted too. That's the next phase. So back to Carpenter Lake, the grant that Jeremy Moss got us. You know, if you haven't been there, you got to go. I mean, it is a wonderful trail, and but the complaint we get is, well, I went to the park, but then I got to go. You know what I mean? So we now have year-round restrooms, small shelter, and again, the dock, the fishing dock, is being rebuilt to be more ADA accessible. And then we have our boulder garden at Carpenter Lake. So some people have said to me, why? Was that the best use of your money? No. There's an attorney in Bingham Farms who went to Birmingham, and he offered them a boulder garden, and they didn't return his phone call. And somebody said, call Ken Cyber. And so we have $1 million gift that we did not pay for. It's phenomenal. This is like an outdoor geology museum. There's signage there telling you where the rocks came from, Upper Peninsula, Ontario. When I go over there, I always say hello to everybody. And if they say hello back, then I say, oh, where are you from? And Warren, Trenton, I mean, I've had people tell me, West Bloomfield, Commerce. It's a destination. It's a phenomenal feature. And it's fully climbable, but watch your step. And then our dog park, we've already talked about that. This is a couple weeks old, so it's much further along. And then our latest thing, as you probably noticed, is our promenade on the front lawn. And people, again, people said, well, what is that? Why did you do that? Well, we do so many events on the front lawn, and it's the subsurface of the grass is clay. And you know, clay doesn't drain real well. And so we were having events out there and slosh, slosh, slosh as you walk around, not the greatest. We were having, you know, stage and things and food trucks, and they'd sink and damage the grass. So this is a sort of a performance space for us. Our Friday night concerts, we used it yesterday for Eat to the Beat. So then I want to wrap up with talking about placemaking public art. I don't know if you had a chance when you walked in here to see the art in the lobby. We're celebrating 5 years of, the lobby was kind of drab. I remember Councilman Brightwell saying how, you know, some of the stuff that's been up here, it's been up here for 30, 40 years. So we needed, the wallpaper was very dingy, so we took everything down. We didn't throw anybody's stuff away. We found new homes for it. But we turned it into a gallery. And so we're promoting local artists, and every quarter we're celebrating the diversity of mediums, the diversity of people and culture. And this particular exhibit that we're doing right now is a Chaldean artist, and this runs through August 31st. On your way out tonight, take a moment to check it out, or come back anytime. And the person that makes this happen, I have to give her a lot of credit, is Dolores Flagg, who has a real sensibility about the arts. She and the Art Commission and a woman by the name of Priscilla Pfeiffer organize these exhibits. So we have new artwork this year. There's a wonderful studio in Detroit, the Norden Brothers. They've been written up in the papers all the time. So Brothers is part of our 9-mile pathway, which I'll talk about in a minute. This is by the Norden Brothers. This is that 9 Mile and Beach. The key, this was paid for by the Art Commission. This was paid for by the City Center Advisory Board. This is the key, and it is at the corner of Northwestern Highway and a 10-mile on the campus of LTU. And then this piece, Hubert Massey, some of you may know him, phenomenal artist, sculptor. We put this piece out in June of 2024, and unfortunately, a drunk driver going 65 miles an hour hit it, damaged it, and it's now been repaired. She hit it so hard that the cement base, she moved 2 inches. Didn't end well at all. But had this not stopped her, she would have gone through the brick wall and down onto 696, more than likely. Could have been a real catastrophe. So anyhow, it's back. We have a new guardrail. Hopefully, somebody's already hit the guardrail. So we have a new pocket park on the corner of Civic Center and Lawrence Tech campus. This is part of the City Center Advisory Board financed this. Our latest art piece is the Northwestern Highway, our pollination effort, again, part of sustainability. This is the bumblebee. It's just in relation to the Red Pole Park. On the other side of the Red Pole Park. This piece was done by students. It was a senior project at Lawrence Tech, and it's a gorgeous geometric piece, but they actually carried it from Lawrence Tech over by hand, a group of the students, and it graces the new hotels. So another project that, this is Coretta Hogue's favorite project. We've had so much new development at 8 Mile and Greenfield. Those of you who've been around a while, remember the old Detroit West Armory and how that was vacant for years, and that rusty, nasty fence with the barbed wire on it? Well, all of that property got redeveloped, good for Oak Park. And then there's new developments on Greenfield, and there's been some sprucing up of buildings below 8 Mile on Greenfield. And then, of course, we have Northland, we have the Crossroads building, the Costco, huge success. So with all of this development, we want more development in the area. Again, those of us that were around a long time knew that in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, that area was hot. It was, that's where you went, Northland, and of course, time moved on, things declined. So we're trying to rebuild that. And so with our partnership with 8 Mile Boulevard Association, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, Oak Park, and Detroit, we applied for a grant. It's a patronicity grant. Some of you, I know, read about it. And if we raised $50,000 in 60 days, we'd get $50,000. Well, we raised more than $50,000. We raised 60-some thousand. DTE, our favorite utility, is doing the installation in kind for those lights. And what we're doing, there's no lights under that bridge. And so we want it to be a destination. We want to know that when you come up the Lodge Freeway and you get off at 8 Mile, you're in Southfield now, you're in Oak Park. Or if you're going the other direction, you're entering Detroit. And this is not about, by any means, bashing Detroit. Detroit is a partner in this. They've contributed $85,000 to this project. It's moving along. Again, things take time, but hopefully, I'm hoping by the fall, we will have this installed. And again, it's placemaking. It's to make a statement. It's a destination. And with that, we have a great relationship with our next door neighbor, Oak Park. Marion McClellan, Mayor, and I were out on, we've done a gateway on Greenfield. We've re-landscaped, we've hung banners and these signs. This is all about placemaking, about encouraging economic development. And then the final project that we're working on is our 9 line. And this is a tremendous project. This project is transformative. It's going to be 36 miles long, 6 miles in Southfield, Greenfield to Inkster. And it's about economic development supported by the Southeast Michigan Council of Governments and Oakland County Parks and Recreation. And it's a link and it's a pathway. So I know this is a little hard to see, but this is Lasher Road here. The pathway is already in from Telegraph to Lasher. This part was done in 24, or 23, rather, this part in 24. And in 25 and 26, all of this pathway is being built. This is not a sidewalk. This is a path. It's 8 to 10 feet wide. This is all being done with grant money, because I've had people say, you're building these paths, but my street needs fixing. There are organizations that want people to get out, walk, exercise. They are funding, putting the money up for pathways so that you can bike, jog, walk your dog, hike, whatever. And we've built over 20 miles now of pathways in Southfield. It always bugged me. I love to walk. I walk every day. So if I go for a hike someplace, I'd have to get in the car and then go to a trail somewhere. I don't have to do that anymore. I walk Southfield. And it's not just a path. what we do is we layer on. So we have a dog respite station with bones and bags. You have mile markers to note your progress and direction, bike repair stations, wayfinding signage, welcome signage, and of course, benches and trash cans and public art. This is called, in the planning world, this is called complete streets. So, I was on the 9 line the other day, and this fellow comes along on a bike. That's what we want to see. This is our concept for the 9 line. We're doing a trailhead at Barbrook Woods. That's 9 Mile and Evergreen. And again, this 9 mile pathway from I-75 past 275 to South Lyon will connect with other urban trails. So for instance, eventually it'll connect with Joe Louis Greenway. It'll connect with the DeQuinder Cut. We're east-west, there's north-south. That pathway that runs all along I-275, be able to connect to that. So we're very excited about this. So our big project is our signature piece sculpture for the city of Southfield. This is the Friends of Southfield Public Arts, one of our partners, has commissioned 2 years ago a Mexican artist, Sebastian, and this piece is about this is all being done with grants, donations, corporate support. No tax dollars are spent here. It's on private. It will be on private property with an easement. The Kenmar building or 9 Mile Crossing building. This is at 9 Mile and Northwestern Southfield Road. Anyhow, it's 98 feet tall. It's a $1.5 million project, and as of today, we are at $1.25 million in fundraising. We're working on getting our goal. So now the commercial. So, if any of you, you know, Vicki and Beverly, could you put pass the plate at the door on the way out? And if our State of the City, we had a number of sponsors, and so we were helping move this project along. So, anyhow. It's a 501c3. We have no employees, no overhead. Every dollar goes back to the city of Southfield, and it's tax deductible if you make a donation. So I want to thank our State of the City Host Committee in Business Development, Rochelle and Sarah, Michael Mannion, my office, and our planning department. So again, you've been a great audience. I could talk another 2 hours because I love Southfield. But anyhow, if you have some questions, I'm certainly available to answer those. Thank you. All right.